Hello students, as I told you, this story is actually an extract taken from the novel Invisible Man, written by H.G. Wells. So, the extract has been named as Footprint Without Feet because this story deals about a person who became invisible. So for an invisible man, wherever he would walk, there would be footprint, but there won't be any feet. That is why that is how this story gets its name, Footprints Without Feet. So now let's start the story. Yesterday we discussed on some important points actually before reading the story. The two boys startled. The two boys started in surprise at the fresh, muddy imprints of a pair of bare feet. So now the incident, the story starts with two boys who actually who got surprised by watching something. And what did they watch? They actually watched a fresh imprints of a pair of bare feet on the mud. Actually the muddy footprints they actually saw somewhere, especially in that place has not been mentioned where those two boys actually saw that, but the two boys just shocked to see a fresh footprints have been formed on the ground, but there was no feet. What was a barefooted man doing on the steps of a house in the middle of London? Now those two boys were thinking that there would be someone who was just walking barefoot. He or she would not have been wearing slippers, and that is why the muddy footprints have been formed on the footsteps of that of that house. But this was a surprising thing in the city of London, and especially in the season of winter, because in the winter season everyone wears shoes as there generally falls extreme winter in London. But the most important thing here is that they were not seeing any man. They were seeing only footprints that was forming on the footsteps of the house, but there was no man, and that is why they were wondering, but where was the man and whose footprints are they seeing at that moment? As they gazed, a remarkable sight met their eyes. As they started to look steadily. Students, the word gaze means actually to look steadily, just to look at something, किसी चीज के ऊपर बस ताकते रहना, देखना, that means clear gazing and staring. So actually as they started to look at closely, they were further shocked by the sight. And what sight they witnessed? Actually a fresh footmark appeared from nowhere. Just when you were standing somewhere and you have seen that a footmark had been just formed, but there was nobody walking, but without a person, though there was no one, footprints have been formed. That was the biggest surprise that those children were experiencing. And what were those? That is the key question here.